Kia ora tātou. Hi everyone. Hey, I'm guessing that many of you watched the Olympics recently. My emotions tend to well up when I see the achievements of the athletes on TV. Perhaps that's the competitive side in me. When I was at school, I used to compete in the 400 metres. I did shot put, I played table tennis, I ran cross country, and I just loved competing. Later on in life, I did triathlons. I know that getting across the line takes quite a bit of training and determination, whether you're into cycling, whether you're into sailing or running. Now, the writer to the Hebrews talks about a spiritual race, and I love the first 3 verses of chapter 12, where he says, "Therefore, since we're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy before him endured the cross, discarding its shame, and took his seat at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such hostility from sinners, so that you may not grow weary or lose heart." Now, the previous chapter lists who these great cloud of witnesses are. Men and women who were credited for their faith. And you didn't have to be perfect to get a mention either. I'm very glad of that. These were patriarchs and martyrs of the faith who lived on the promise of the Messiah, feet on the ground with their eyes on the prize. Now, for me, that speaks about hope and the glory of heaven. Looking beyond the uncertainty of lockdown and Delta variants, of health scares and relationship breakdowns, and so on. The writer says, "Let us run with perseverance the race that is prescribed from us." The idea here is determining to master any obstacles like sin that weighs us down or gets in the road, so that we can fulfill God's calling on our lives. Of course, God calls us to reach a lost and broken world with all its challenges. Some of you will remember the movie Chariots of Fire. In the 1924 Olympics, Eric Liddell decided not to run the 100-metre heat because it was on a Sunday, even though he'd likely win. They called him the Flying Scotsman. Like the great All Black Michael Jones, he sustained huge pressure to follow his convictions, but he knew God had gifted him to run, which is why he said, "God made me fast, and when I run, I feel his pleasure." I guess I can relate to that, even though I'm having to run on wheels now. I've still got to dig deep on a daily basis. The writer encourages us to look to Jesus, who has perfected our faith. He's endured everything that I will, encouraging me not to grow weary or lose heart in the journey. Liddell says, "In the dust of defeat as well as the laurels of victory, there is a glory to be found if one has done his best, or her best." I'm determining to get across the finish line, recognizing that life is more of a marathon really than a sprint. But I'm glad that others are on the journey with me, passing the baton just like a relay. That's my brief reflection, folks. I hope that might be an encouragement to you. Kia kaha.